Hi, Patriots. I like to give you an update on what's going on, and I just kind of want to fill you in. So, as you know, on June 30th, the governor and her task force released a return to school roadmap, which is guidelines for schools to be able to reopen in the fall. And in the guidelines, it has all 6 phases of our Michigan reopening plan. And it talks about what's required under each phase, what's strongly recommended, and what's recommended. So there are 3 different kind of sections under each phase, and there's different areas, things like that. If you'd like to look at that plan, it is a 63-page document, and it is on our school's website under the COVID-19 button. And if you click on 2021 school year or 2021 information, you can find the roadmap under that. So I just want to let you know that it's there, it's available for you to look at. And I encourage parents to look at it just because it helps you understand of what are local decisions of schools, what are schools required to do, and what are schools allowed to do, and those kinds of things. So that helps you give some understanding. So just so you know, we are currently in phase 4. And in phase 4, we are allowed to have in-person instruction. And we do plan to offer in-person instruction in the fall. We are also going to be exploring some other options. We're looking at providing an online option for students who are choosing not to come back to school or feel unsafe or at high risk or whatever. But bottom line is we are going to be open if we are still in phase 4 when school begins in August. Couple things I want you to be aware of is that we will follow all requirements under the phase that the state is under. So currently we're under phase 4. Anything that is required in that we will follow. And the majority of things that are strongly recommended, we are also going to follow. And we're going to follow them, the guidelines, they're not up for interpretation. We're going to follow them as they're written. So in the executive order and in the roadmap. So let me give you an example. The thing that has kind of been out to most people is the requirement of masks. Students in grades 6 through 12 are required to wear masks all day long. That is true here at Hillsdale Prep. It's true in every other school. Students in grades kindergarten through 5th are not required to wear masks all day as long as they stay in their own class, in the same classroom all day, and are not mixing groups of students and things like that. But they will be required to wear masks in shared spaces like hallways. So I want you to be prepared that no matter how old your child is, they do need to come to school and will be coming home from school every day in a mask. So make sure that you are preparing your child for that and that you're practicing them wearing a mask, things like that. Get them used to it, so that it is kind of one less thing that we're stressing them out about when we come back to school. So that's kind of the biggest topic that seems to be of concern to parents. So I just kind of want to give you that heads up. But again, to look at really what other kind of things are going to be required and strongly recommended, go look at those guidelines on our website. And I did mention a couple things. So my committee is meeting tomorrow to finalize specifically how we are going to implement the guidelines under the roadmap. So how we're going to implement the things that are required, how we're going to implement the things that are strongly recommended, what's best for our students, what's best for their families, what's best for our teachers, all of those things to make sure everyone's staying safe and healthy. And we will be working, coming up with a draft of the plan. We will then submit it to Grand Valley State University, who's our authorizer, and then we will get it approved by our board of directors at the end of this month. Once that happens, I will be releasing the plan out to parents, And once that plan is, our specific school plan is released, I'll have a town hall meeting where you can join me virtually. You can come on, you can ask questions. I can give clarification on things. So that will take place in very early August, where you can be asking those questions and things like that. So stay tuned for a date and time for that virtual town hall meeting. The second thing I'm going to be sending out is a survey. I want to know what you're thinking as far as your option or your choice for your child. Is your child going to attend in person, or would you prefer for them to do an online learning through Hillsdale Preparatory School? And so I will be sending out a short survey where you're answering some questions in relationship to what your you would prefer. And I'm asking, once that gets set out, I need specific answers by August 1st. That way we can make sure staffing, people are properly staffed and things like that. One thing I do need you to know about online options is if you're choosing an online option, there's going to be some less flexibility. We're going to be operating during the school day, but there's going to be a lot more consistency, a higher level of requirements, expectations with online learning, and it's not going to be what it was in the spring. It's going to very closely mirror what's happening with in-person instruction in the classroom. And the biggest reason for that is we want to be able to provide the same educational opportunities to students, whether they're online or in person. And we also want to make sure that if we start out the school year in phase 4, but move backwards to phase 3, where schools need to be closed and everyone needs to be online, that's an easy transition and they're still getting the same opportunities. So that's kind of where we're going with those options. And, I really want to hear from you. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, please feel free to email me, reach out to me. And like I said, you'll be seeing that plan come out in the next couple weeks. And then after that, we'll have a town hall meeting so we can really talk about it. I can get your input and your feedback. So in the meantime, if you have any questions, reach out to me, annie.fowler@hillsdaleprep.org, and check out any new updates and information on our school websites, and look also on our school Facebook page. All right. I will look forward to seeing and talking with you soon.